Today I'm going to be platinuming Cyberpunk. When the game released in 2020, the game didn't really get reviewed that well. That's because the game was rushed out and was poorly made. Afterwards, the developers came back and updated the game slowly but surely, thus leading to the game winning an award. Another reason why I wanted to play this game is because it takes longer than all the other platinums that I've done on this channel. The guide on PSN Profile says it will take around 70 hours. It took me 50, but it can vary on how many missables you miss. There are 9 missable trophies throughout the game. If you're following a guide, you shouldn't miss any of them though, unless you're like me who's kinda retarded. I might have forgot one of the trophies in the beginning of the game. The first thing that you do is pick what class you would like to be. And being the white kid that I am, I chose a street kid class. Once picking your class, you then have to design your character. I made my guy look like he would sell drugs out of an unregistered van, while also acquiring a restraining order from all local schools. You start off this game talking to a bartender. He explains to you that he owes money to a mobster, and he needs your help because he knows you have dealt with him in the past. Afterwards, you make your way upstairs. This is where you politely ask if you can get the bartender off the hook. And first of all, how are we getting into money debts with a guy who looks like he sells Labubus out the backside of Walmart? He then tells you how you can get the bartender's money debt away, and that's from stealing somebody's really expensive car. You then agree setting foot to your first mission of the game, and while leaving you meet one of the main bosses of the mob. You apparently know the guy and he offers you to give you a ride. After a short little drive, you make your way to the location of the car. Once getting into the parking garage, you see it and then break in. Before you can leave with it, another thief tries to steal it, and at the same time the police arrive, ending up with you and the thief going face down into the concrete. Before being packed up, the owner shows up. He explains to the officers that he doesn't want to do the paperwork, leading to these guys being dropped off on the side of the street. This thief named Jackie then proposes an idea to V, and that's that both of them can become somewhat of running mates with each other. Then after a montage of these two running gigs with each other, we get our first training session of the game. Once finishing it, V talks to Jackie. They explain a mission that they have to go on with each other. Once leaving the car, we get our first trophy of the playthrough. This trophy is just for finishing your first main mission of the game, even though you kinda didn't really do anything yet. V and Jackie then start their next mission. They have to check on somebody who hasn't been responding. Once entering the apartment, they find other people in there. V and Jackie then stealthily take each one out. That's where you find the person you're trying to find sleeping in a bathtub. That's when you check her vitals and then call the ambulance. They then show up and then you and Jackie leave the apartment. And then you call up Wakako Akako to tell her that the job has been done. That is exactly how you pronounce her name. Trust me, I've double checked. Sometimes these jokes just write themselves. And while Jackie and V are making their way back from the mission, they get attacked by another mercenary group. But once killing all of them, you make your way back to your home. The next day, you meet up with Jackie and he takes you to a Ripper Doc. What a Ripper Doc is basically they're a cracked out tattooist. But instead of giving you crappy Chinese lettering, they rip out your eye and give you a new one. The reason why V needs all these new attachments is because he's doing a job for a guy named Dex. Dex is basically Rick Ross, but instead of putting Molly in people's drinks, he makes you go and steal from multi-million-dollar corporations. The first mission he sends you on is to steal a thing called a flathead. What a flathead is basically one of those robot Chinese dogs. The reason why you need it is to steal a chip from an Arasaka base. But first you need to find out where it is in the building that you're gonna steal from. That's when you talk to this person named Evelyn. She brings you downstairs to talk to her friend named Judy. Judy then puts you into a thing called a brain dance. What a brain dance does is put somebody's consciousness into another person's body, allowing you to relive the person's memories. After completing your first brain dance tutorial, you get put into one of Evelyn's memories, and in it you're in the room that you need to steal a shard from. After finding the location of the shard, you exit the brain dance. You then meet up with Jackie to steal the flathead. Once entering the Maelstrom facility, you sit down on this couch. After this guy presses you, then get into a gunfight. Once defeating all the enemies, you pick up the flatline and get out the building. Dex then arranges a pickup at a bar called the Afterlife, and while at the meetup, you get details on how to sneak into the Arasaka base. For all of you guys that don't know, Arasaka is basically like if Oscorp was sourced out of Japan. After the meeting is done, you make your way over to Arasaka Tower. Then you have to sneak the flathead through security and make your way up to your hotel room. Once in your room, you have to guide the flathead into hacking into the penthouse. V and Jackie then enter the penthouse and locate the shard, but after finding the shard, the owner of Arasaka named Yorinobu is walking into the penthouse as they speak. So V and Jackie hide behind a TV screen, and while sitting behind the TV screen, you see a confrontation between a lot of people. Let's have a fun game of listing all these people off. First off, we have Yorinobu Arasaka. He is the kid of Saburo Arasaka. These two both own the company of Arasaka. Next up on our naming game is Takamura. He is Saburo Arasaka's lead bodyguard, and we'll see more of him later into the game. And lastly, we have Atom Smasher. In the Cyberpunk lore, he is one of the strongest people in the world. This is because he has a lot of cybernetic upgrades from different companies. After Takumura and Adam Smasher leave the room, the Chinese dynamic duo has a talk with each other. Yorinobu isn't really happy on how his dad is dealing with the company, and after a little bit of duration, Saburo gets choked out by Yorinobu. Sometimes some people want to be choked out, but I don't think this was on Saburo's bingo card. Afterwards, Yorinobu locks down the building. After everybody leaves the building, V and Jackie try to escape, but while on the side of the building, they are spotted by an Arasaka cruiser. Both of them bail, sliding down below. Once reaching the bottom, Jackie is heavily injured, along with the case that is holding the shard. This leads to Jackie plugging the shard into his Neuralink. Afterwards, Jackie and V have to sneak their way through the Arasaka building. After getting spotted, you have to fight your way back into the parking garage. After getting into the cab, you try to escape through the front door. While leaving the building, you get attacked by Atom Smasher, but you and V narrowly escape, leading to a pursuit by Arasaka drones. Unfortunately, on the way home, Jackie doesn't make it. The injury that he received at the Arasaka tower was too much for him to go on. He tells you to take the shard and complete the mission. You say your goodbyes and make your way over to see Dex. Once going back to him, he isn't happy on how the mission went. This is because the mission has made it to the news, and that Dex and you could be linked to the death of Saburo. After a bit of talking, Dex then tells you to go wash yourself up in the bathroom. After going back out, Dex then crosses you, ending up with V getting shot, and you also are awarded a trophy for finishing the main epilogue. Now we play as Keanu Reeves' character named Johnny Silverhand. The reason why we were playing as him is because Arasaka transferred his consciousness into the shard, and once V got shot, Johnny's consciousness took over his body for a little bit, replaying memories that happened in Johnny's past life. And in these memories, we see Johnny trying to take over Arasaka Tower. Johnny's plan was to plant a bomb in the shaft of the elevator, but he went off script and tried to extract data from one of their main terminals, also giving the sub-network a virus in the process. And while leaving, Johnny was spotted by Atom Smasher. He tried to escape but just couldn't, leading Johnny to be captured by Arasaka. They then punished him by putting him on a chip for eternity. After Johnny then dies in his memory, we come back to V. This is where Johnny and V meet for the very first time. This is because we are in a subnet of the shard, almost like that one scene in the first Lego movie. Afterwards, Johnny then revives V. You then have to dig your way out of the junkyard that you're put in. After a bit of crawling, you then get found by Dex. He was tasked to take you out of the junkyard by Takumura. After finishing his job, he then gets shot. The reason why Takumura saved you is because he needs your help. He knows that you were also in the room with him when Saburo got assassinated. And because Takumura was Saburo's right-hand man, he got kicked out of Arasaka. And while Takumura is telling you this, you get ambushed by some of Arasaka's men. After you have a big shootout with them, Takumura then brings you to Victor. Victor was the Ripper Doc that you saw in the beginning of the game. He also then explains the consequences of having the shard in your head, and he explains that your body will try to get rid of it, killing you in the process. You are taken home and given some pills. These pills speed up and slow down the effects of the shard. So if you want to be like one of your schizophrenic family members, you can take the red pill and start going insane. After going to bed, you wake up and see Johnny. He, like you, is also very confused. These two then get in a big argument, and then they realize they're one of the same. But even though Johnny is in V's body, he can't control him fully, only in very short bursts. The next day, you meet up with Takumura in a diner. This is where he wants to explain to you that he wants to show the world how much of a liar that Yorinobu is. He also tells you that he knows somebody who designed the relic. Takumura then asks for an alliance if he helps you get Hellman. He's the person who designed the relic, just he doesn't really know where he is right now. V then tries to find Evelyn. This is because he thinks that she has some intel on the shard, but once making it there, Judy tells you that she hasn't seen Evelyn in a little bit. This makes V go on a wild goose chase trying to find Evelyn. After a lot of running around, you find her boss. He doesn't really help you at all. By the end of this conversation, I ended up fighting him. It was also kind of funny because I realized I was interrogating this dude with nothing but my boxers on. Once you're done dealing with him, you make your way back to Judy. You and her get information that somebody might be able to give you a brain dance of Evelyn. You then acquire one and do some investigation. After watching the brain dance, you figure out where this location might be. After finding the building, you then fight your way all the way down to the bottom. While clearing it out, I got the first miscellaneous trophy of the playthrough, and that's for getting all the rewards when data mining. Once making it all the way down to the bottom, you see Evelyn. You make sure she's still living and take her out the building. After bringing her to Judy's house, you use a brain dance to figure out what happened. When scanning some clues, you figure out that you were in a church in Pacifica. Judy then tells you that she'll figure out more on what's happening. After that, you make your way to the afterlife. This is because Johnny thinks that Rogue might have some intel on Hellman. Once talking to her, you realize that she knows where he is, but instead of being nice, she makes you do a mission for her. After agreeing, she shows you a schematic of where he'll be. She also gives you a pointer on somebody who might be able to help you. You first have to go to her and try to persuade her into helping you. This person named Panham agrees if you can help her by stealing her car back. V agrees, but before starting the mission, she needs to go back to her camp to get some of the supplies. The camp that she brings you to is called an Alt Cunningham camp. This is basically like a group of futuristic cowboys, but if you sprinkle in the family dynamic of Fast and the Furious. And while here she asks others if they would like to help her on her mission. They all say no because technically it's going behind their leader's back. You then get the supplies needed and go to the place that you think the car might be. Once getting there, you set up the area for your ambush. You have to reconnect the power to a generator. This is because the people who stole Panham's car only come out during the night, and by turning on the lights you can use it as a distraction, allowing you to be able to get a drop on the enemies. But once I got spotted, I got another trophy. This trophy is for killing an enemy who threw a grenade at you. Once all the enemies are defeated, you escape with Panham's car. Once bringing the car back to Panham, she asks you if you want to do another mission with her. This mission is to kill the person who stole the car from her in the first place. Once agreeing, you go to a tunnel and fight off a wave of enemies, killing Nash, the person who stole Panham's car, in the process. Afterwards, you give some merchandise to some mercs and then go to a hotel. Once making it there, you go into a bar and discuss how you're gonna get Hellman. The plan is to use an EMP to disable his ship, making it crash to the ground. But since I'm lazy and I'm not using a PC to record all of this, it got corrupted. It's most likely probably something on my end, but still. Once capturing Hellman, you do an interrogation with him. When you interrogate him, you ask him how to fix it so the shard doesn't kill you. He explains that he doesn't know how to fix it, but he does know that the shard doesn't kill you, but it makes Johnny take over your body. After he explains this, we get a trophy for kidnapping Hellman. After dealing with Hellman, you get a call from this guy named Mr. Hands. He tells you to go to a chapel in Pacifica. This is because he thinks there's a person in there named Brigitte that can help you with the shard. Once entering the chapel, I got a trophy, and it's for using the Street Kid class dialogue option 10 times throughout the story. This is technically the first missable trophy I've gotten so far. After talking to that guy, he makes you talk to another guy named Placide. This guy explains to talk to Brigitte you need to do a mission for him, and that's to go into a mall and get some items for him. The reason why you have to do it is because it's on enemy turf, but once entering the mall, Placide tells you that you're actually not trying to find something, but someone, and that person is a netrunner located in the cinema. Once finding him, you connect into his Neuralink to find other netrunners. Once connecting, it overrides V, making him collapse on the floor. After waking up, Johnny then suggests that Placide was trying to kill you. Once making it back to their base, you confront Placide. Before you could say much, Brigitte walks over. She takes you downstairs to do some tests on you. She explains that she's going to go to the cyberspace to contact Alt Cunningham. Brigitte thinks that Alt Cunningham might know a way to stop Johnny, or at least stop the shard from taking over V's body. After a bit of waiting, you're transported into the cyberspace. Before you can find Alt, you need to go into Johnny's memories and find her. But once going into the memories, you find her fairly quickly. We also learn in this memory what actually happened to her. While on a smoke break, she was captured by some of Arasaka's men. Then after infiltrating Arasaka Tower, you find her connected to the network, forever lost in the Arasaka networks. After a little bit, Brigitte then finds you and pushes you through the firewall. This allows you to contact Alt Cunningham. They then make a plan to get Alt into the bases of Makoshi, allowing Alt Cunningham to have control of all the Arasaka networks. You then disconnect from the cyberspace. Once you fully leave the chapel, you get a trophy for meeting Alt Cunningham. After this mission is done, you meet up with Takamura. He has an idea to tell Saburo Arasaka's kid Hanako about what happened to him, but first he tries to get into contact with Hanako's bodyguard named Oda. After asking him, he just flat out says no, and the reason for it is because Takamura is technically a fugitive. V and Takamura then make a plan on how to contact Hanako. The plan is to sneak on one of her floats in a celebration that's happening. Just the area that it's located in is heavily populated and heavily guarded. Takamura then goes to the area and says he'll call you back when he gets more information. While waiting for Takamura, you get a call from Panham. She needs your help because her leader Saul was captured by other nomads. After scanning the premises, you make your way over to the base. This is also a good time to note that this is technically the first missable mission of the game. This is because if you fail on saving Soul, it locks you out of Panham's ending. There are 4 endings in the game and 3 of them are missable. There are 7 missions in the game where if you do or say something wrong, it locks you out of these endings. All of them are pretty straightforward and hard to miss if you're using a guide. After finding and escorting Soul out of the building, you make your way into a shack in the middle of nowhere. You have to stay there because there's a big sandstorm happening. After turning on the generator, you wait around until the storm clears. The next day, you meet up with Takamura to go over your plan when the parade is happening. The plan is that you will take out all the snipers while Takamura is talking to Hanako. After I was done talking to Takamura, I stumbled into my first glitch of the playthrough. While doing some side quests, I couldn't pull out any of my weapons. So while I was doing the street baller missions, I got the crap kicked out of me. And I'm talking worse than the UFC 319 main event. Apparently this is a pretty common glitch in the game, and I'm not kidding. kidding when I say this, the only way to fix it is to sleep with the hookers found throughout Night City. To whatever creepy bastard figured this out, thank you I guess? After I got V to stop acting like a retard, I went back to Takamura. He tracked down the location of the float that Hanako will be in. He asked you to sneak around the base and hack into the float, but I didn't do that. And while clearing it out, I got a trophy for taking out 300 enemies with ranged weapons. Once killing all the guards, you just hack into the float and then leave the area. The next day you go to the place where the celebration is taking place. You then go over the plan one last time with Takamura and then put it into action. You do your job by taking out all the snipers. Along with all 3 snipers, you have to take out Netrunner. But right when you unplug her, Oda shows up. And this dude is by far the hardest boss fight in the game. And this isn't because he deals a whole lot of damage or anything like that. The reason why it was so hard is because once he gets low enough, he goes invisible to regenerate health. And I simply just could not find him. After about 20 minutes or so of fighting Oda, I finally defeated him. You then hack into Hanako's float so you can guide Takamura. Once the coast is clear, you tell Takamura to go downstairs. After a bit of talking, Hanako gets sedated. You and Takamura then leave the festival grounds, ending the mission. You then have to go to Takamura's hotel to talk to Hanako. And while telling her how Sawara died, you get raided by Arasaka. Once falling through the fort, you come to the first part of a missable trophy. You have to go left instead of going right to save Takamura. If you don't save Takamura, it locks you out of its ending. Once escaping the building, you and Takamura go your separate ways. You then do a jump cut a couple of days and find yourself in a hotel. This is where a proxy of Hanako shows up. What a proxy is basically a stunt double, allowing Hanako to show up and talk to V without actually being there. Hanako then sets up a meeting with V in downtown Night City. This is so they can overthrow Yorinobu, taking over control of Arasaka. Once finishing up this conversation with Hanako, we get a trophy for talking with her. Technically that was the last main story quest. There's one more remaining, but we need to set up the endings before we do so. And to set them up, I need to do a whole lot of side quests. I'm not going to go through them all because this video will be around 3 hours long if I did so. So I'm just going to show the popping of the next few trophies. After this is done, we have to go for the random miscellaneous trophies, and oh my lord is there a lot of them. This first trophy is for killing 3 different enemies in under 5 seconds with a pistol. This is the first of 2 collectible trophies in the game, and it's for collecting all 20 tarot cards found throughout the world. Putting at least 1 implant on every single slot of your body, crafting 5 legendary items, killing 2 enemies with a single use of the superhero landing. This one was super annoying. You have to kill 3 enemies with the detonate grenade hack, shooting a grenade out the air with a revolver, reaching level 50 for street cred, killing 50 enemies while time is slowed, killing 300 enemies with melee weapons, killing 2 enemies with the same bullet, distracting 30 enemies with quick hacks, collecting all of Johnny's lost items, killing all the cyber psychos, kill an enemy who killed you after using your second life ability. This is for completing all the gigs in certain regions. This also includes the NCPD scanner hustles. This trophy is for buying every single car in the game. The guide on PSN profile says that this is the last trophy you should get while playing the game, which in my experience with this game is just factually wrong. This is where we get to by far the grindiest trophy in the game, and this is for fully maxing out a stat to the max level. I had to go in a circle for 5 hours killing the exact same enemies over and over and over again. If you're gonna try to platinum Cyberpunk, go for headshots every single shot you make. This is so you don't have to be like me and grind it out for 5 hours after finishing every single quest in the game. This is the last miscellaneous trophy I got in the playthrough, and it's for unlocking all the fast travel hubs. Now we have to play the last mission of the game. You meet up with Hanako and discuss how you're gonna take down Yorinobu. Before you agree on anything, V backs out. He does this to weigh all of his options to see if anything is better. He then claps waking up at Victor's shop. After recovering, you make your way to the roof of the building. This is where you decide all the endings throughout the game. Each ending you pick is roughly the same. It just depends what person you want to invade Arasaka Tower with. Every ending also has a different person die by the hands of Atom Smasher. This is because you get ambushed in the exact same place every single time. You also get the choice to spare or kill Atom Smasher. The first ending I went for is going with Takamura. I'm not going to go into detail on what happens in each ending, and it's a simple reason that I didn't have any space to record any of it. But in all the endings, Johnny goes to live with Alt in cyberspace. There are 2 endings for V, it's either going off into space or living out with Panam. Thank you guys for watching the video. Sorry if this video feels pretty rushed, but this is the Platinum Trophy. Hopefully all of you have a good rest of your day.
Hey V, what's up kid? Been a while since you came to see old Vic.